You're running for a seat that could decide the balance of power in Washington. What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi, good night, everybody.
The president has long talked about our nation being at an inflection point. He has been clear democracy is under assault. Unfortunately, we have seen MAGA Republican officials who don't believe in the rule of law.
We are facing a workforce problem. As these stories of the threats and intimidation are shared, people who would normally be poll workers on election day or work at a voting center or maybe work at a ballot processing center are taking that step back and saying, I don't know that it's worth my life or it's worth my personal safety. So I know that I'm hearing from my colleagues across the country that they are having trouble getting people to work the polls and work on election day. I think that the level of threats that we're seeing, they vary widely, and I think it has a lot to do with how high profile the election official was in the lead up to the election, and then also obviously based on the outcome in many states, because the commonality seems to be states where Trump did not prevail. So the threats that they are receiving are intimidation. They are some of the threats are real. You know, we're going to hang you. I hope somebody puts a bullet in your head. That kind of thing. So it's unnerving. It's unnerving.
We must, with an overwhelming voice, stand against political violence and voter intimidation, period. Stand up and speak against it. We don't settle our differences in America with a riot, a mob, or a bullet, or a hammer. We settle them peaceably at the ballot box.
Welcome to Burn Babylon Burn. This is not a news show. It's an opinion show. We encourage you to do your own research. We do not give financial, legal, medical, or any kind of advice. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Burn Babylon Burn. It is Election Day in Clowntown.
You're telling me about it, man. Golly.
Yeah, well, so that was just a little bit of the pre-bunking, you know, so I'm expecting something to go down, some shenanigans. Joining us today is my friend Ken, and Ken, you are pretty in touch with what's going on with these midterms, right?
Well, I've followed it. Politics is a little bit of a game. My job allows me to kind of monitor it, so I kind of keep a finger on it and just like to try to think I know what's happening next, even though I usually don't.
Right. Nobody knows what's happening next except for the programmers over there.
Right. The people doing it.
All right. So what are the hot races, guys? You guys are you guys are way more invested in this than I am. So tell me what's up.
Well, you go ahead, Mud. I haven't seen anything live in about an hour, so I don't know the latest and greatest.
So Oz has basically said there's a announcement that Oz is coming out to address his supporters at his campaign rally party thingy. So it looks like Oz might concede. That's the last I heard, which is that would be really sad.
I'm looking at the results here for Pennsylvania, and it's 85% reporting. Fetterman's 49.5, and Oz is 48.1.
Wow.
So it's close. God,
yeah, it's real close.
So he might just be addressing just like, hey, just keep the spirits up. We're gonna have to, fight legal battles to see if we can cast out some illegal ballots, stuff like that. But yeah, that Oz Fetterman one is close. Where's Walker sitting at right now, Andy O?
Let me dig for that. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, so it's definitely not turning out into the wave that was expected. And to me, that speaks of some honking and some shenanigans that is going on right now. Is what I'm. That's what I'm. That's what I'm feeling right now. I like that.
Yeah.
There's because the Hispanic vote. Just looking at Florida alone, the wave. I mean, Rubio is at 48, and DeSantis is at like 49%. Like the wave that they got, but it's like it's dialed back everywhere else, which it doesn't make any sense because Florida was doing way better, and then you're sitting in states where you're literally having crime waves happening all over the place,
Wait,
and they're still voting for the crime waves.
Florida, I think you mean 58 and 59.
Did I say 48?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
meant to say, I meant to say 58.
Yeah,
I meant to say 58.
DeSantis is the projected winner with some change. The thing is, I think that's a reaction to lockdowns. That's why DeSantis is so popular, and that's why all these governors' races are so hot. It's because it really matters who your governor is whenever the government starts to act the way that they did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What? Anybody hear anything on Michigan with Whitmer and?
Whitmer's winning from what I saw. I can get you the direct results if you hang on a second.
Okay, I'm pulling up the decision desk here in a second. Looking for it.
All right. Yeah. Whitmer 50.87 and Tudor Dixon 47.48. So it's kind of close still. It's within tens of thousands of votes.
Wow. That really surprises me.
I would expect a bigger reaction to the way that she acted, as in like a bigger backlash. But it looks like this is also that Michigan has 6 people running for governor. So
okay,
so that margin really could be made up by the other parties, and then only 36% of the precincts are reporting at the time that I gave you those results. So, and by the way, Walker is barely winning by just like 0.5% or something like that.
Wow, so that's a nail biter.
Yeah, and I think what's that?
How many votes?
72% reporting. The thing about Georgia is Georgia is going to have a runoff in December anyway with the top 2 candidates, so they're going to have to redo this whole process again.
Well, no, that's one of them has to win by 50% or more. So where's Walker at?
Okay, he's at 49, and Warnock is at 48.97 with 72% reporting. So it's really tight. It's probably going to go to runoff.
So, but if and how many? What was the percent reporting?
72% reporting,
72,
and same for Kemp and Abrams. I thought I've been doomsaying a lot about Stacey Abrams just because I know how much money she's being backed up by from the Soros
oh my gosh,
yeah,
outspent Kemp, and Kemp has money bags himself. Some of these Senate races, same thing, being outspent 10-1.
Oh yeah,
bad money, these Democratic races. Yeah, right now, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe that Hobbs is up that much.
Wait,
I'm
Hobbs
looking at
was
Arizona right
that
now, 56 to 43. Wow.
Wait, Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay, something new came in. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, but that's only 9% reporting.
Okay.
Yeah, that could just be some places, some polling locations in Phoenix, and Phoenix is the lefty city there, I guess, or I guess Tucson kind of is too.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, the majors. It's like a lot of places where everything's red and the major cities are super blue, just like here in Texas.
I will be really scared if there's a blue wave across our fine country, because I just don't think we have that many people that would think that way.
I don't see how Democrats can win at all at this point, just because they've been pushing the climate tyranny right after pushing all of the COVID tyranny, and a lot of Republicans are guilty of that too. But it's uh, they were the ones that were really crazy about it, and it was really bad in Democrat-run cities.
Yeah. I mean, the Democrats ran on. They didn't. No one talked issues. I mean, like just crime alone. I'm amazed because that's just a universal thing. Doesn't matter if you're blue or red or green or purple. Everybody wants to be safe, and I can't believe that they can be running strong on such terrible policies.
Yeah, people were literally burning down cities just a couple of years ago, and
I think you're confused. Those were peaceful protests.
Mostly peaceful. Asterisk.
Mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful firebombing of places, and there was no law and order in those moments. The Democrats utilized that as a political opportunity. So, and now they're running on, hey, can women kill their babies? Let's let women kill their babies. So.
But yeah, also cut off their babies. It's like, oh, my son decided to play with the Barbie doll. It's time to cut off his junk and give him estrogen.
Right.
It's like, I'm pretty sure that's a human rights violation, you F-tards.
Yeah, that whole anti-human agenda that's going on with them is just, it's not going to work. Then you've got Biden attacking energy, making sure that fuel costs go up, and that the wars that they're doing over there. There's so many reasons that I can't see regular people, except for if you can scare them about Trump, and that's basically the whole intro that I put together for y'all was for to show you that's what they're sitting there doing, is saying, oh yeah, y'all should be scared of Trump and that democracy is on the ballot. Yeah. Cool. If democracy is on the ballot, I'll vote to get rid of it.
Well, for me, if there's not going to be a massive red wave, I'd actually prefer, I prefer that the Democrats win if there's not going to be a massive red wave, so that the crash that's going to happen in the economy is just all attributed to the Democrats. That there's no way they're just like, oh, the Republicans were stopping us from progressing and whatnot. If there's not going to be a massive red wave that wipes every, it completely blocks every single agenda. If it's just a little trickle, part of me just kind of prefers that the Democrats win this one, just so that when it crashes hard, they can't go, oh, it was the Republicans' fault. They blocked us from passing our agenda.
I don't
know where
this
economy's heading. Scary. I mean, right? We haven't even seen it yet. I mean, right? Things are going to get worse before they get better, and that's a very good point. Very good point. Because man, oh man, if people think that they're living on a tight budget now, just wait. Nothing's slowing down, and there's no handle on inflation, no plan to handle inflation. And let's do another bailout. And while we're at it, we got to do. I don't think we've sent any money to Ukraine this week.
Yeah,
I had to say that. Sorry.
Every few minutes, we got to send some more money to Zelensky.
Yeah.
Do you guys know why there's Ukrainian boots on the ground? There's U.S. Did you know that there's U.S. boots on the ground in Ukraine right now?
There's been almost this whole time.
No, but
right, I've heard that too.
But they're admitting it now. But do you know what the job of the U.S. boots on the ground is?
To teach them how to use the weapons we're giving them.
Nope, that's not it.
It's not what they're saying, I guess. Or that's what I've been hearing from people like Doug McGregor.
Ken, take a guess of why we have U.S. boots on the ground.
Well, it can't be regime change. That's our favorite thing. I give up.
Because we're trying to account for all the weapons we sent them. trying to make sure that it didn't get on the black market.
Okay, yeah, I did hear that.
Oh, that's good.
Well, no, they were ending up on the black market. That was really happening. They were selling them on the dark web. And so we're going to end up seeing our own weapons come at us at some point. It'll be just typical of all of the situations that the United States has put itself in, where we give free weapons to some country and then we end up fighting those weapons later.
Yeah.
Well, I know they don't have to sell to the Taliban.
Oh, the Taliban
Exactly.
already got
Right, that's what I mean.
billions of
They already got
weapons.
theirs.
They're all set.
Well, I tell you, it's Andy, earlier today, or a day or two ago, even I told you, it's an exciting time to be an American. I mean, I'm 6.5 decades into this experiment, and I am just it just gets more interesting as we go. I mean, Mud, I do like your idea of the when the organic matter hits the oscillating air mover, I think it'd be better that they're in control or some semblance thereof.
I don't like that. I don't like this idea of starting to think like that, because I just don't feel like we have that kind of time left. If things are getting so bad that it's going to be food and fuel that they're attacking, and I don't want to see people starving. I don't want to see people freezing, and I know that that's part of the 2030 agenda.
Yes,
I don't disagree with you at all, but I mean, how do you shift a populace? Like I was sitting there with one of my buddies. Well, actually, two of my buddies. We were watching the election stats, and we're like, okay, this looks like it's going good. It looks like it's going good. And then it's like, oh crap, this is not looking that well at all. And it's not looking like the red wave that was needed. Like, it's not a reputation. It's not a black spot on Biden is what it looks like. I'd have to see what the stats are right now. I mean, of course, we could see the interesting thing is that we could see two things that are happening right now. One of them is that we could see that, the ballots that are coming in and stuff like that, like we could see a change happen in the next couple hours.
right.
We could also see that we could also see a major effort at questioning the election, how the elections are done, and the propaganda, not the propaganda, I'm sorry, but the what's the word I'm looking for? The honking, the cheating that's going on. Like, we could see some stuff that comes out tomorrow. Like, I guarantee you Veritas is going to have some stuff that comes out about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got an email from Veritas this afternoon that was, if you notice anything irregular, to please contact James O'Keefe. But they don't call it cheating, by the way. It's called fortifying. Don't forget.
That's right. Fortify the bullet.
You were saying, though, you had some more to go there.
Well, I mean, but the other thing in that case is, if they did win because people are just that stupid, that they need to be beat down more. It's like, if we can't open people's eyes to what's going on, I guess people just have to be beat down way more by crappy Democratic politics. And I mean, I'm in my business, I'm positioning myself to make money off of a recession. Like, I'm moving into Section 8 housing and stuff like that. Like, I'm completely shifting my business model from flipping houses and stuff and operating off of that, to where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to buy houses that are, dirt cheap, and I'm going to fix them up, and I'm going to get the government to pay people to live in them. I guess I have to do it that way, because the government's breaking down every other way for me to actually run a business. Like, I lost $100,000 business and 10 houses because of COVID lockdowns. And it's like, okay, what other options are you guys leaving open for me? You've taken away my ability to bank, all sorts of stuff. And you know, like I can't get loans at the interest rates you guys are charging. So, well, you know, I basically have to find people that are losing money in the stock market. I'm like, hey, you have $1 million in the stock market. If and you're losing money right now, you can invest in with me and you'll actually make money because the government will literally pay you to help me fix up a house. You just provide the money and I'll fix up a house and you'll make like 20% return a year on the money that you put in. But it's really annoying. I don't want to have to go that route to make money. I don't want to have to
Right.
build a business in that direction, but the government's forcing me to go in that direction. It's driving me bat crap crazy.
Well, they don't want a country of shopkeepers like we were set up to be, because, you know, people that are financially independent are independent thinkers, and they don't want that. I mean, that's the whole thing. The more people on the dole, the happier they are, and that's just not where prosperity comes from, for sure.
Mud, you
Well,
might
yeah,
be
but
interested in Ken's old business. Tell him about what you used to do there, Ken.
I used to be in mini storage for 27 years. And that was a pretty good recession-proof business. When things got bad, we filled up and then stayed full because people were suffering, losing their houses, losing their jobs, losing their apartments. But that business, but then at the same time, receivables were that much harder to get. And it was an interesting, fun game though. But also played around in that rental game for a while, but I was a little higher end on the rentals side. And so that when I have a downturn in the economy, that really didn't affect me that much. But the lower end, my friends who had lower end rentals, you know, they were hit pretty hard because people don't have money. And it's really funny though, how, you know, they're printing all this money, they're giving all this money, but, you know, it's really not trickling down to the people that need it. You know, if they really wanted to help the economy, they'd put all the money at the bottom, because it always ends up at the top anyway. And they're just not doing that. They're starting at the top and it never gets to the bottom.
yeah, but that's what happens whenever if you're just giving money away through printing, it gets consolidated at the top. If you remove it, but on the other hand, whenever the way the Democrats attack tax breaks, the tax breaks allow for people that are innovative and are trying to move forward to actually make more money. And so they call it trickle down economics whenever it's done right. But whenever they do it the way they want to do it, it's completely the opposite of trickle down economics. Right now, you know, Nancy Pelosi, like freaking what's his face? Fauci. Fauci gained what? Like how many million dollars did Fauci gain in the last couple of years?
It's his net worth definitely went up. COVID was very, very good to him.
It's mental. It's completely
Yeah,
mental.
it's crazy. It is.
And then the way that the tax relief and the tax loans that they would give out to people, like the loans for small businesses, I had subcontractors. I had everybody hired as a 1099. So I didn't really hire them. They were just subcontractors. So I didn't qualify for any loans whatsoever. So I lost $100,000+ business because I wasn't paying them as employees. They were my subcontractors. And it just, you know, just all collapses around you whenever it's just the way they do it is just in such a way to just only benefit those that already have power and to squeeze those that are working and trying completely out of the business.
So
Well, if we continue on this current economic track, and if it doesn't change, we are in for some cold times. I mean, my gosh, it's going to be crazy. These energy policies and everything else keep up. We will have $10 gas. I mean, it'll just happen. I mean, it's just really crazy. I just can't believe this many Americans can't see what's going on.
And if the gas goes up, the price of everything goes up because we haul it. So we have to get it there. So that costs more for the shipper. And that gets passed on to the consumer.
Yeah, it's really amazing. If this trend continues tonight, it's just going to be. I see us in a negative spiral that just scares the hell out of me. That's all there is to it.
I was hoping we'd break the cycle. Where are we right now, Andy? Can you give us a little bit of updates on where the races are standing? Like Walker, for example, where's he at?
Oh, okay.
I'm watching the screen right now. I'm just getting, yeah. When it pops up, I'll let you know.
So Abbott's keeping Texas, which is great.
Obvious.
I'm not a big fan of Abbott, but I am really concerned with the things that Beto wants for the world. So I'm really glad that
Walker up by 4/10.
didn't make it yet. So let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. I'm seeing that too. Huh. So yeah, that one's going to be a tight one. So one thing I think about this is I think that there's going to be something highly contested. They've been talking about people not accepting the election results for weeks now. And so I think that there is going to be something hotly contested, and I'm afraid that it's going to come to blows somewhere. And that's something that I feel like that they've been pre-bunking and setting up for whenever this rolls around. So
you called this. You told me that a week ago.
Yeah. So this is what I'm going to say to anybody listening. If things are crazy, don't fight people over this stuff. Like, settle down, because I know that this is a big dare. They're like, oh, we're going to blatantly take something, and what are you going to do about it? Don't do anything about it. Trust me, when the military gets involved in this situation, or if they involve any outsiders in this situation, things start getting really bad really quick. We start seeing things like gulags and things like that. So just calmly accept this defeat this time and work it out next time. Because if one of these situations turns into that, just be calm about it. Like, do not go hot.
Too early to call in Arizona is what I'm seeing on the screen right now.
What's the percentage in? We're talking Carrie Lake there. Is that what you're referring to?
They're still 14 points apart, and it's 52% counted.
Is this for Carrie Lake or for someone else?
Yes, Carrie Lake.
She's 14 points down?
Yes, but that's because Maricopa's all in. And the outlines and the outlying state isn't yet. So and it says too early to call Arizona race.
Yeah, it's that's only 10% reporting is what I'm seeing though. So
yep, Walker's 4/10 up, 49.2 to 48.8 over Warnock.
Yeah,
they're going to try.
I think that the one that might be the tight one, the one that might be crazy, is the Arizona one, because there was so many discrepancies there in 2020.
Well, if they keep Walker below the 50% margin, then they get the runoff.
Right.
Golly. I think, well, I'm starting to think that that Carrie Lake was so concerning to them, to the elites, that they basically they went all out to stop her, because she's like Trump on steroids.
Yeah, she's a female Trump, but better. So
she's Trump without the baggage, and they're just like, oh shit, Trump did all this crap to us. We have to stop that happening. And so they might have just unplugged all the corks. They might have just done a ginormous honking in order to stop her from getting the reins of power. I'm wondering if that's something that we're going to see.
I think Arizona is a big place that they honked in 2020. So,
because like, if Carrie Lake doesn't win, I'm going to say that there was some BS shenanigans that has gone on in this election if she doesn't win that race.
I would have to agree. I mean, she was 11 points up in polling yesterday. And I think so too. The other thing about that is that, you know what, the first 25% of the machines at the beginning of the day weren't working. And I just think there's going to be all kinds of crap on the table tomorrow. I do.
Yep.
I mean, you know, Hobbs also acted like she didn't have to campaign against her and debate her. And she had that smugness about her that kind of bothered me a little bit.
The Biden basement strategy.
Yeah, pretty much.
The media does all your heavy lifting.
Yeah, and that's it. They empowered these people. You know, they never vet them. You know, in the day, politicians used to get vetted on the news shows on Sunday morning. And I mean, they would put them through a meat grinder. I haven't seen that in, gosh, 12, 15 years, you know?
Oh yeah, that stuff was great. I miss those
Right.
days. Yeah.
Right. Totally.
And the politics in other countries too, they really go at each other's throats it's so much more fun.
Well, when people resort to name calling, you know that something's up in their argument. And the other thing that gets me is, you know, whenever anyone wants to audit or check the results of anything, you know, if there's nothing to hide, you're pretty much open to it. And boy, they fight that even tooth and nail. So, you know, all those things. I mean, it's not the you know, it's not the open door policy and transparency that we all want. And that leaves a little bit of doubt in everybody's mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's so many things that I think a lot of stuff is just bait. And so it's either some kind of emotional bait or it's I feel like this whole thing that we're leading to right now is a baited situation. I'm just glad that I was wrong about the Abrams thing, and I owe somebody a steak dinner for that. So I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm wrong.
Yeah.
We just have to see how wrong things are whenever the election results all tally in. I just pulled them up right now. In the House, am I correct in saying in the House, the Republicans are only up one in the House?
Oh man,
I'm seeing seeing that they've, let's see once. Let me look closer on my glasses on. Let's see. So far, the Republicans have picked up 6 House seats. Democrats have picked up 1.
That's not a wave.
No, not a wave by any means. We need 218 to have control, and we're at 186 right now. Yeah.
Shit.
It's and the Senate is 46-46. So it's pretty early though. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Oh, and Katie Hobbs now, or Lake just picked up a percentage. So now she is 14 points back.
Yep,
So
I think
maybe
that's going to be the
good things will
one.
happen.
They're going to blatantly rob Carrie Lake in Arizona, and that's how they kindle this whole situation. It'll be blatant.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're still. That's why they preserved the January 6th thing for 2 years. So they preserved this whole narrative for 2 years in order for anything that they do,
But
they can get away with it. Yeah.
It's going against the polling. I mean, what, Arizona closed their polls how long ago? Like 2 hours at least. It's 11:33 where I'm at in Alabama.
Well, they had malfunctions today too.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was working on a $100,000 contract, and I'm just sitting there working my butt off on all these estimates and stuff. And of course, I don't make the 100,000. If I hear some Democrats like, "Oh, he's going to make $100,000 for a 4-month job," it's like, no. I might make 20,000 off of it, but of course that's what they hear. You made the 100,000. That's the cost of the job, including materials. Anyway, but I'm sitting there doing that. And I'm hearing, my buddy Kenny that's over here. Is just like, oh yeah, the all the ballots that are being printed in one district, they're all blurred. All the ballots are blurred, so the machine can't read the ballots. It's like, oh, that seems kind of convenient.
Yeah, those machines got to go.
Yeah, and we used to be able to do this all with paper and be just fine. But
Right. On a bad night, they had to count till 3 or 4 in the morning, but they got her done.
yeah. And so you guys want to wrap up anytime soon? You guys got anything else to
I'm
add?
good. I'm going to go night-night.
Appreciate you jumping in with
day.
me, man. Thank you.
Yes,
Oh, for sure. Thank you so much, man.
Yes. See you later, Mud. Take care. I hope that I wake up with red in my eyes. Good night, gentlemen.
Agreed.
Good night.
Later on, Ken. Thanks.
Well, that was Ken. Goodbye. Hopefully we're going to see something turn, but it's not looking that good to me right now.
I don't think I think that the way that the media played it up, that there was going to be a big red wave, or at least the Republican talk shows and everything like that were saying it was going to be a big red wave, and the Democrats are running on nothing, which they are. They're really not running on anything unless it's, scaring you about Trump or the environment, or saying that you're going to lose your right to kill your baby. Then, I don't know this. I know that there's things in play. There's a whole bunch of things in play, and what's next is recession kind of things. So it is going to be, like you were saying, that it will be beneficial to Republicans if Democrats preside over these recession kind of things. But you just need people that are sane in there to just go, hey, we can't print money like this. We can't throw money at every problem in the world. And yeah.
Well, I mean, essentially, it's like the cost for 2024 win might be an extra $10 trillion in debt, which is a really bad thing. It's really bad. Like we have a chance, or we had a chance. We're going to see how this plays out tomorrow, but honestly, I'm not that optimistic right now. And I think you you and me have had many discussions about this.
It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
So,
it's like 10 times worse than I thought it would be.
Well, see, the thing is, I've known that they don't really, they've been tampering with elections for decades now. So
they've been honking with elections. They've been honking.
They've been honking. They honking all over the world. They honking all over the world to make sure that the world does what they want. So I've never really thought too much of it. I do know that whenever you see something like my district, which is I just looked at it, and my House of Representative member is 70-30 against a Democrat, and he's I know that my district's not changing. I know that if I go vote, it doesn't matter what I vote, because my district stays red, and it probably will forever. But other places are different, and you can't really honk in. You can't honk in a district that's that solid. You can honk in places like Atlanta and Phoenix. You can start honking in Philadelphia, where they like to honk. So,
well, we're just gonna have to see what the play out is. I guess we'll talk about it hopefully Saturday or Sunday about the fallout, and we'll see where we stand. Hopefully we'll get some solid reports in at that point.
Yeah. I'd really like to see what the big story of this is, because I've just seen so many things pre-bunked. So I know that they're getting us ready for something.
Well, anyway, sounds good, man.
Y'all.
Where's the play-out music?
I'm white. I'm black. I'm yellow. I'm red.
I'm gay.
And I am the Drizzle, host of Grand Theft World Liberty Radio. Look, man, here's the deal. If you're not listening to Liberty Radio, then you've got a problem with yourself.
Getting that shot really was an amazing feeling. It hits you.